Welcome back to Mike Duffy Live. Well, generally I always read everything or believe everything I read in the Globe and Mail, and I know you do too. But today I'm reading my handy-dandy paper, and it says, key backroom fixers line up behind Ignatieff. They even suggest that Bob Rae, the former NDP premier, has expressed some hesitation to close friends about whether he'll enter the campaign. This written by Michael Valpy, normally a knowledgeable person. And of course, it's all, well, let's bring in Bob Rae, the Liberal MP from Toronto. I'm almost, you know, sometimes these things happen by accident, but this in the paper today, then my phone started ringing with people saying, no, he's lost all of his good team, all of the experts, blah, blah, blah. He's not going to go. Is this true or what?
Well, no, it's absolutely false. I'm putting an end to the nonsense by just saying that I phoned Mr. Dion today to say I don't want to be the foreign affairs critic anymore. I want to be free to do what comes next. And then I said when the party announces the date of the convention, I will be a candidate. Just so there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I mean, I spoke to 60 of my supporters on the phone today in a conference call, and said two things. One, I said exactly what I just told you, and second, I said this has got to stop. We've got to put an end to this rumor mongering, to the whisper campaign. Last week I wasn't feeling well. Then the next day my brother wasn't feeling well, and then according to the rumor mill, people are phoning me saying, well, and I just say this is absolute nonsense. And at some point you just have to. Well, it's terrible. It's just silly.
Dirty tricks.
Well, it's just silly. I mean, it is not worthy of these guys, and it's not worthy of the political process. I think I've got a unique set of experiences, Mike, and I'm going to be a candidate, and the official announcement will come when the party makes its official decision.
So their official decision will be in a week's time. So yeah. Sometime in the following week you'll make it official, I assume.
Absolutely.
What would your thought be? The National Executive has to meet to consider a number of things, including the exact date and location of the convention. For people who aren't in the process, the current meeting is scheduled for Vancouver, but delegates to political conventions get a subsidy, and if you're in one end of the country and have to fly most of the people out, it becomes a very onerous financial situation, whereas if it's in central Canada and people can drive, anyway.
Well, we don't want to prevent a convention from happening in Western Canada. I mean, if the party wants to have the convention in Western Canada, that's fine with me. Wherever the party decides to have the convention, I'll be there, and so will thousands of delegates who will be supporting my candidacy. So I'm not worried about that. I mean, the party will take care of these details. They have that responsibility. They're very capable people running the Liberal Party of Canada, and they're going to make those decisions. But I just want to say to you and to the people watching your program that I have every intention of being a candidate. I've expressed that very directly to my leader, Mr. Dion. You know, Mike, people should never confuse a sense of decency with anything about hesitation. I worked flat out for the election of Mr. Dion as Prime Minister. And I traveled extensively across the country on his behalf. I co-chaired the platform committee, and you know, did a number of appearances in the election campaign with him. And I make no apologies for the fact that I wasn't going to make a decision or make an announcement or make a big fuss about who is supporting me or who I've recruited or who my organizers are. And I can assure you that they're people who are well known across the country and well known in the party. Our campaign will be stronger, better organized than it was last time, and we're going to win. And I'm looking forward to it very much.
What do you think will be the issue in this leadership race? Winnability? Will people look back at what's happened in the past, and will there be finger pointing there? How do you see the race? Well,
look, I mean, first of all, you know, people say, well, Bob Rae has a history, and I just say, you're damn right I have a history. I have a history, and I'm very proud of it. I've worked very hard in public life in this country for 30 years. I've built a party. I led it to government in Ontario. I parted company with that party after some strong differences of opinion over the years. I worked hard in the private sector. I worked very successfully in restructuring the Canadian Red Cross, a number of other organizations, did the Air India review, a big review on higher education for Premier McGuinty. I'm very proud of what I've been able to achieve in public life, and then came very close to winning the leadership, I think most people would say. Came back, was elected to Parliament twice, won by 19,000 votes in the last election. So I'm very proud of the campaigns that I've run, the things that I've done. I've come out of it wiser. I think the question for the country, I think the question for the party is going to be who's best qualified to reorganize this party quickly, to get us ready for the next election, to get us ready to assume the responsibilities of government, to broaden the base. It's not about backroom fixers. It's about the people. It's about the delegates. It's about the people who need to support us. It's about transforming the Liberal Party, frankly, and transforming the culture of the Liberal Party so it's transparent, it's positive, it's forward-looking, it's effective. We're recruiting new members, we're recruiting new people, and we're wide open. And the sunshine and sunlight are the best ways to do this, and I hope to be able to provide some of that.
Do you have any idea who's behind these dirty tricks?
No, of course not. Neither do you, and I don't think we'll ever know, but that's not the point. The point is it has to stop. I argued last week that we needed to be civil. I argued this week that we need to address economic issues which are crucial for the future of the country. I know there are some people who will say, let's put it up front, simply say, well, Bob Rae, you know, he was the premier during the last recession in Ontario. How could he possibly be the guy to help us? I say, well, because I've got the experience. I've stood up to some tough times, and I've made some very difficult decisions. I've stood up to vested interests. Yes, I've learned some tough lessons. I think everybody has. I don't think anybody thinks the same thing today that they thought 20 years ago, and I don't mind being very candid about that. I've been very direct about it. I've written books about it.
But
we've got some critical economic questions to deal with as a country. We've got to figure out ways in which we can create wealth in the new economy. We've got to do it in a way that's sustainable, and we've got to bring everybody along. And this is going to take a lot of work for us as a party to provide new hope and new reason for people to support the Liberal Party of Canada.
Bob Rae, you certainly sound enthusiastic. No hesitation there. Thank you for joining us today. His book, by the way, is From Protest to Power, and I highly recommend it. If you want to know what this man learned while in office and what not to do next time, he's very candid about it there in that book, which you can find in your neighborhood bookstore and library.
Thank you very much. That's very kind of you.
Well, it's enlightening, and sometimes rather than have people just talk when they don't know anything or think they know, read the book and find out. Thank you again.
Cheers.
That's Bob Rae in Toronto. Well.